Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by Pioneer Petroleums. Fuel your passion.
You know, this is amazing, John. I think Roger and I have been fishing too long. That's why we haven't been hooking up as many fish as you.
I'm the 63-year-old brookie.
This is your first brown.
First brown ever.
This is amazing.
First brown today or first brown?
Ever. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
I didn't buy a fly fishing rod till a week ago.
Yeah. And aren't you glad you did?
I am very glad.
You know what? It's such a great sport, especially here when you fish some of the tributaries in New York State, because a lot of the tributaries are bigger and there aren't a lot of trees on some of the shorelines. Like this is perfect for backcasting, like you're seeing behind us here. Okay, now try to steer them this way if you can, John.
I'm amortizing the price per pound.
Oh, per pound of fish?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're down quite a bit today.
You know, this is classic fall fishing. Look at all the leaves that are on the water here. And a beautiful brown trout. Roger, this is like something out of a sports magazine. Look at, keep swinging, pull straight up over my head, over my head, over my head. And guess what? He is in the purse, John. You're gonna walk up here with me? Now, Roger, maybe we'll make this teamwork here. If you don't mind holding onto the cradle. Holding onto the cradle. Okay. And I'm gonna, you got the cradle? Yep. John, can you fit in here so you can see this fish? It's a prime male. Look at this.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's a beautiful brown. Can you see the colors from that angle?
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. That flies just in the side. Can you pop it out, John? No, you haven't got your picture, but guess what? You've got the video. Is that okay, John?
Yes.
Look at how beautiful he is.
Perfect.
He's going to go down and look at it. You guys can go back to fishing. I'm going to explain to them a little bit these flies that we're using. Now, you know, because we're tributary fishing, and these fish are migratory brown trout. They're not inland browns. What I mean by migratory, they spend most of their adult life out in the Great Lakes, and in this case, this is a tributary that flows out into Lake Ontario. So these fish are coming up here to spawn. That's why that brown was so dark in color. And you can see here that this tributary is probably about 60, 70 yards wide. It's fairly silty, and because we're at the bottom end of the tributary, there's not a lot of flow. So just below here, we call this frog water, because it's kind of water that you see frogs in. All of these pattern of flies that you see here are very fluffy. That's because they're tied with marabou, and either marabou or rabbit fur, okay? And these are almost like jig flies. I'll take a white one out that hasn't gotten wet, because then you can appreciate how fluffy it is, okay? So this particular one, you can see that it's been tied on a regular hook, but what the person did was wrap wire around it to weigh it down a little bit. And there's a little bit of color, a little bit of plastic in there. So when this gets wet, it actually looks like a little bait fish.